Looks like a biracial privacy hedge. Trump can't leave Windsor Castle, and his state visit needs to be behind closed doors for security concerns. Meanwhile, here's a picture of Obama at Stonehenge meeting random members of the British public. Yeah, hold on a second. Why is that? Dummy, why did you just answer your own question? Yesterday, President Trump visited the British royal family at Windsor Castle, and he did what should have been a non-event. He reviewed the royal guards. Of course, nothing he does can be a non-event. The left has to lie. It looks like a biracial privacy hedge.
So impractical. What is that?
Look like black lips and a tongue.
Yeah, Donald Trump, he's one who he'll get really amped up about stuff. Later in the day, he announced some new ideas that he wants to implement back home, inspired by his visit abroad. Hey! On dead, sir, and bitchin'. And, of course, several accounts out there, all references publicly available, as we do with every story. They tried to say that President Trump broke protocol, embarrassed himself. This whole idea that we're less respected on the world stage than when we had President Biden. Again, tiny gay Brian Krasenstein said, "Breaking! Trump blatantly disrespects King Charles in England. What an embarrassment he is. I guarantee you that MAGA will try and spin this to be a positive somehow. And he's going to be a dentist."
A dentist?
We don't need any chewing dolls.
A dentist?
They call me Jawbreaker.
What are you, a fag?
I am not such a miss twink. Now.
You're a
Yeah. We're going off the... It's fine. This is what we do. The most embarrassing moment, actually, was when the royal family tried to serve President Trump mushy peas for lunch.
They don't know what the they're doing. Do you understand that?
It's a guy who eats his steak with ketchup. Don't do it.
Just the mushy peas
Mushy
will not
pea.
work. No. Mm-mm.
Love that clip. It's applicable at any time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Or almost anyone.
So then you have the Republicans against Trump. These people, because everyone sold their soul. More Republicans in this country than any candidate ever, except for the Joe Walshes and the Lincoln Project when they're not diddling kids. So Republicans against Trump wrote, Trump in the UK walks ahead of King Charles, breaking tradition because of course he does. The account Wu-Tang is for the children. Of course, Trump breaking protocol once again, walking in front of the kid like he did with the Queen. Why do these people continue to roll out the red carpet for this uncultured slob? But here's the thing. This is how it's done. It's how it has been done in the past. The New York Times, they actually had a quiz on royal protocol. Here they have Trump walking ahead of the Queen in 2018. They declared it back then a faux pas and then had to actually concede. Palace officials later told British diplomats he had done nothing wrong.
Oh.
Do you remember Biden farting in front of the Duchess of Cornwall?
Taking a dump
Remember?
in Sistine Chapel.
Yeah, Joe Biden was constantly
Get his pants right in front of her.
Yeah.
It was like a shot heard around the world. and they're saying he's uncultured, Biden was like Rodney in Caddyshack.
It was suppository Ferdinand. And by the way, here's what the left does, too. They also tried to circulate that Trump was a coward due to the security. Here's something that really bothers me, again, because I've lived through this, and I know that people like Charlie Kirk did. Anyone on the right has. And just to be clear, the left tries to guilt you into being a coward. They try and guilt you into exposing yourself and making yourself vulnerable so that they can kill you. I hope you understand that. Here's the post that was circulating. Trump can't leave Windsor Castle, and his state visit needs to be behind closed doors for security concerns. Meanwhile, here's a picture of Obama at Stonehenge meeting random members of the British public. Yeah, hold on a second. Why is that? Dummy, why did you just answer your own question? Why is an old white guy in more danger than the first black president, using it loosely, ever? Why is that? Maybe for the same reason that I needed tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars in security every time I do a public speaking event, and those on the left don't. Maybe for The same reason is you just saw this act of terrorism committed against Charlie Kirk, and there is no equivalent on the left. You won't find one. Don't try and go to Minnesota. The guy didn't do it in the name of Trump. He blamed Tim Walz. You won't find it. Why is that? Now, keep in mind, and we're going to go to Rumble Premium. Please do just hit that button, join up. It's Chat Thursday. They did this right around the December of Love before the election. If you don't remember this, the left burned that historic church, right? St. John's Church. They did so in the name of St. Floyd. And they tried to kick down barricades to the White House to get to President Trump. They would have killed him if they could have. How do I know? Because they were saying so. And when Donald Trump took measures to protect himself, called him Bunker Don. I think that's victim blaming. Let's watch.
It does appear that St. John's Church is on fire. The parish office, we went downstairs and it is on fire. I'm going to walk this way, and this is awful. We saw graffiti. Once the door was broken, we saw something similar happen earlier.
And the police briefly lost control of this area around the White House and were forced to make repeated charges.
Yes, they were storming the barricades to the White House, saying they were going to kill the traitor Donald Trump. And when Donald Trump didn't avail himself to the angry mob, they called him Bunker Don. Remember that? Mm-hmm. Pussy, come out and face all 4,000 of us, pussy. How about we just kill you? How about if you say you're going to kill the president and you're storming the gates, you don't get rubber bullets, you get bullets. That too extreme? I'm not saying people who show up on the street with a sign that says, I don't like Donald Trump. I'm saying people storming gates saying we're going to kill you and burn down a church. How about we kill those people? Lawfully, because it is lawful. How about that? What's worse? Burn down historic church? Possible dead president? Charlie Kirk dead? A few dead Antifa rioters. People are already dying. Shit's already getting destroyed. And there's nothing you can do if you handle it peacefully and don't engage. They call you Bunker Don. If you sit down in public and invite anyone with an opinion to sit down and speak, they say that you're inciting. If you call for violent protection of your own, they say you want a holy war. Okay. They're going to do it anyway. Anyone think they would be out of line with any person there storming the gates saying, we're going to kill Donald Trump? Come out. Getting shot? I wouldn't. 0%. They want to guilt you into exposing yourself so they can kill you. The left wants you dead. Understand the enemy that you are facing. Understand the enemy that you are facing. They will call you a coward. They do the same thing with guns. These tools of cowards. Remember Sean Penn said that. Mm-hmm. A bunch of people on the left. Yes, some man, you need a gun. Does that actually work? Okay, now do women. Now do people in wheelchairs. Now do the infirm, old people. Ableism, I believe is what you call it. Yeah, I want them to have a gun. Does that mean they're not tough enough? In other words, to the left, if there is a veteran, Navy SEAL, Green Beret, take your pick, Army Ranger, who laid his life on the line and killed terrorists and sacrificed his health for the sake of this country, came back and was riddled with injuries and is in a wheelchair and a Second Amendment advocate, they will call him a coward for defending himself with a gun. And you know why he needs to defend himself with a gun? You. I don't care. I'm just at the point. Are you advocating violence? Yep. I think it's pretty clear how, when, where, lawful. And we haven't used the lawful tools available to us. Violence is one of them. And here's the thing, it's not even political violence. Do you guys understand that? I'm not advocating political violence at all. I'm advocating lawful violence to prevent violence. You know why we have the death penalty, right? It's a deterrent. You know why we have the castle doctrine, right? Where you can shoot people? It's a deterrent to those who would commit violence. I'm not even advocating political violence. I'm advocating that conservatives in half of this country not have their hands tied when they are constantly subjected to acts of violence. It's not even political to shoot someone who shows up and tries to throw acid on your jacket in your face because of your opinions. It's not even political to tase, tackle, and maybe get a few ground and pounds into someone who's slashing your tires or firebombing your car. It's not political. It's called self-defense, protection, and it exists everywhere else until people hear that you're of the wrong political persuasion, and then you have to go through a multi-million-dollar trial. Sure, you know Nick Sandmann, you know Kyle Rittenhouse, you know the Covenant School shooting, right? You know what happened with the DOJ, but what about the ones we don't catch? I've lived it. I've had union members in Michigan follow me to my car, show me their gun, and tell me that they are going to kill me with their gun. This is recorded if I show back up to Michigan because they oppose right to work. And the media said, I was instigating. Okay. I'm not advocating political violence. I'm advocating lawful violence that has, by the way, been used forever. We've been holding ourselves to a standard where we aren't even using the tools that are before us. It's that. I don't care anymore. I don't care. People want to say, oh, you're going for the war. Well, I'm not. But go ahead, say that. I don't care.
Basically self-defense you're advocating.
Yep. Yeah, next time when someone lifts a rock at I don't know what you're doing. Eliminated. The threat eliminated. That doesn't mean kill, by the way. Next time you're bringing a milkshake, do you have any idea? I mean, I know, I'm sure that Charlie went through this. You know this, when we've been at Change My Minds where we have private encrypted messages and I'm in the middle of a conversation, I have to look down and someone says they're at the corner of X and Y Street and you probably want to get moving. All the time. And we don't know if it's a weapon, if they mean slashing tires, if they mean firebombing, if they mean kill, if they mean concrete milkshake or some acid, if they mean anthrax, ricin, or if they just want to throw a sucker punch. We don't know. We literally have to live on it all the time. And that's not going to happen anymore. That's just not. They're going to fear violence in self-defense from us more than we fear their offensive violence toward us. That's the world we have to live in. Fat vagina is exactly what I would say if I wasn't here on YouTube. So go and subscribe on Rumble. Same channel where free speech is actually alive and well. Or you can stay here and the